don't think there's a single person in the Magic Valley that doesn't recognize that there's a problem and a shortage of housing here, just by the amount of increase that we have seen in home prices, right? I mean, that's skyrocketed. People can't even afford like that first time home that they used to be able to afford for $150,000. Gone are those days. So of course there's a trickle down effect, because when your mortgage prices go up, when your home prices go up, then people aren't able to move out of the rental market and to purchase a home, which then puts pressure on the rental market, making less rentals available and raising the price because it's supply and demand. And so folks who are on very limited incomes are facing challenges being able to find a home in the Magic Valley that is actually affordable, that's even within what HUD calls a fair market rent rate. They just don't exist anymore. The Housing Authority was established in 1940, which was before even the state enabling legislation for housing authorities in the state of Idaho, which is very cool. Recently, we applied for what's called the moving to work status within public housing authorities across the country. There are 3,300 housing authorities. We are now designated as moving to work, one of about 125. The name is a little bit confusing because it's not necessarily about work. Originally, it was created about moving to work, but it really does focus on reducing regulatory burden, creating local control as opposed to DC control for the regulations that we follow, creating avenues for self-sufficiency for the residents that we serve, and creating greater housing opportunities, which is the piece that you just talked about in how do we develop more housing. Moving to work is a critical piece of that because it does allow us to use our funds a little more flexibly so that we can add to our portfolio. Keeping in mind that we've not developed properties since the 80s. There was a deal with Albertsons where we did get one new public housing property in 2000, but there's been nothing new since that. So being able to use our funding more flexibly will really have an impact in the Magic Valley because we will be able to develop. But yes, it begins with land. One of the challenges that housing authorities across the country, not just in Idaho, face is that there will not be a creation of new public housing. There just won't be. In fact, public housing at many agencies is being moved into a private portfolio through the RAD program, which is a rental assistance demonstration program put out by HUD, because a lot of the properties are very dated and they require upgrades that HUD just isn't funding through the public housing program anymore. So even though we want to build new properties, we recognize they will not be HUD funded. There just isn't that opportunity for public housing, so they'll have to be independently funded and stand alone with budgets being self-sustaining.